welcome to Super Families with Sue. I'm glad you could join us. My name is Sue Karuga. The main difference between human beings and all other animals is the capacity to think, so that every behavior, every action, every choice that a human being makes is informed by certain thinking patterns. Join me as we delve into this whole issue of sex concepts. Welcome. A warm welcome to you. Now, I've been doing a series called Underage Sex, and this has been informed by what is happening to our children, especially during this COVID-19 season. We are hearing of reports of many children engaging in drug and substance abuse and alcoholism, and engaging in sexual prostitution and orgies, which is a really sad state of affairs. And I decided to do this series on underage sex just as a form of awareness. And today I want to continue with that line of thought by looking at the sex concepts. And now, talking about a sex concept, we are talking about the notions and the ideas that a person has concerning sex. And these are very important, because now if you use that word the sex concept together with the mindset or the sexual mindset, then it becomes a whole big thing, because a mindset is a pattern of thinking over a period of time. And now your notions and your ideas will normally eventually lead you to forming a pattern of thinking concerning your attitude towards sex and even sexuality. And then you know that human beings are guided by thinking. I mean, that's the difference between human beings and animals. Human beings' actions and choices are informed by certain thinking patterns. And so you will end up finding that your sex concept is going to determine your mindset, that is your attitude towards your sex and sexuality. And in turn, that is going to inform your beliefs and your choices and your behavior in as far as sex and sexuality is concerned. And that is why this whole issue is very important. And now, generally speaking, in a broad sense, we can classify our ideologies and notions concerning sex into at least 3 categories, which I have tried to highlight in this chart right here. And there is the biblical concept, there's the moral concept, and then there is the secular pleasure concept. And I would like to start at the middle, the moral, because that is the one which tries to be at the middle without going to any extreme. And now those who believe in the moral concept believe in the principle of human decency to be able to decide what is the right behavior and what is the wrong behavior. They believe in the human conscience, that the human conscience is good and therefore is capable of choosing the right thing. They also believe that society to a certain extent has the ability and the right to control the behavior of the society, of the individuals, to a certain extent, especially as far as sexuality and sex is concerned. So they believe in certain controls. They believe in freedom within limits, not just absolute freedom. They believe in freedom within limits. Most of those people who are moralists, those who subscribe to that kind of school of thought, usually they have a value system which was instilled in them by either their families, their parents, they are growing up, and many of them are religious, although some may not be religious. They just believe in the human decency. And so we find that this kind of people who have this kind of mental concept, because they have a value system, they will therefore most of the time believe in having one sexual partner at a time. Yeah, because they have a value system. They will believe in loyalty. They will believe in commitment to that, one sexual partner at a time, they will also believe in not cheating on that person because that is against their values. So most of them will believe in that. And therefore, because they believe in control, certain controls, they will usually frown at pornographic material. They will not approve of that. They will, frown at and even perhaps speak against things like child pornography, sexual abuse. They will really talk against those kind of things because they believe in morality. Yeah, but they will not go to the extreme that we see in the biblical view. They will also not go to the other extreme that we see in the secular pleasure concept. And so those are the ones we consider to be the moral concept, to have the moral concept, to be in between the two other extremes. And now, the biblical view, the biblical concept is on one extreme. Then the secular pleasure concept is on the other extreme, and they do not meet. Those are like the north and the south pole. They actually don't meet. And then the moral concept tries to be at the middle. Now, the next that I would like to discuss is this, which I'm calling the pleasure, the secular pleasure concept of sex. Now, this one here came especially with the sexual revolution from the 1960s. The sexual liberties. They believe in absolute freedom in as far as sex is concerned. Absolute freedom. They believe here that pleasure is the highest good. Physical, sexual pleasure is the highest good. They also believe in instant gratification of their sexual pleasure. There is nothing or no one or anything which should tell them that they should wait. If they feel like indulging in any sexual activity, they should be able to do it without anyone questioning them. Those who subscribe to this school of thought also believe that nobody should question their choices. Nobody should question or even tell them how to behave. And these are the people who carry ideologies like my body, my choice, my pleasure. I do with my body what I want to do with it. So essentially, they believe that their body belongs to themselves. They are in charge of their lives, and therefore nobody should tell them how to behave in as far as their sexuality is concerned. And because of that, most of them don't even believe in the existence of a God, because there is no God that exists that will not try to control the behavior of human beings. And because they don't want their behavior to be controlled, they don't want their sexuality to be controlled, then they will normally not believe in the existence of any God, because they do not want to be told how they can live their lives. And these ones here, the ones who believe in this kind of an ideology, they believe that nobody should question your choices in terms of sex. Nobody should question. And if a parent falls in has this kind of an ideology, they believe they cannot even question how their children, the choices that children make, even concerning their sexuality, they believe they cannot question that. They also, these ones here, believe that nobody should tell them how to behave. Nobody, not society, should not even, they don't believe in moral laws. The society should not be telling them how to behave. Their choice is their choice, and therefore they don't believe that there can be anything wrong with the choices that they make in as far as their sexuality is concerned. They don't believe that there can be anything wrong with that, as long as the only thing they believe in is consent. That as long as two adults agree to anything concerning their sex and sexuality, nobody should question it. And remember, here we are specifically discussing partnered sex. They believe, these people who subscribe to this school of thought, that as long as you and your partner agree, you consent to what you want to do in terms of your sexuality, then nobody should question. And this is where you find many people nowadays who subscribe to groups such as lesbianism, to gay marriages and bisexual and all those other groupings. They belong to this category because they believe nobody should question their choices. Nobody should question how they choose to express themselves. And apparently also this group, the ideology behind this pleasure also believes that they have a right of expressing their sexuality without anybody questioning. And that is why we are seeing in the recent past a lot of vulgar music. The internet is flooded with pornographic material. Over 70% of the material that you find on the internet is pornographic. And even the rest that is may not be pornographic has links towards pornography. Look at the music that is being sung by these young people of late. It is perverted. It's all about sexuality and really perverted, because those who subscribe to this kind of pleasure concept, they believe in expressing their sexuality and nobody should question it. Nobody should tell them how to express themselves. And so of late we are having a lot of this kind of challenges in our society. So for example, the other day we saw the Kenya Film and Classification Board flagging down a certain matatu, because of the graffiti, pornographic graffiti that they had drawn on the matatu. And those who believe in the morality, those who subscribe to the moral school of thought, they will see that that is wrong, because matatus are used by everyone, including children, and so children should not be exposed to explicit sexual content. But those who belong to this group and concept of pleasure, they don't see anything wrong with that. And so they keep on telling us, no, but you see, the young people are simply expressing their talent. They are just, expressing themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that, because they believe that nobody should question the way someone expresses themselves sexually. That is a mindset. It is a concept that is there right now in the world. It started with the sexual revolution, but right now it has grown and it is engulfing so many people. Some people even who belong to the moral school of thought are quickly sliding into this pleasure concept.